is Audra DiBello, who you may see on your screen now. She's a graphic artist from Coral Springs, Florida. She will be discussing her virtual classes in the altered book technique for enhancing brain health and building community in today's world. Pre-pandemic employed by Royal Ocean Events as a cruise line wedding coordinator, Audra is currently self-employed as a full-time Mary Kay consultant. She has 2 children, 6-year-old Ava and 2-year-old Britton. Now, first off, Audra, can you tell us what is an altered book?
So you take a book that, let's say you finished reading and you didn't exactly like, sometimes that happens. And instead of either giving it away or, putting it in the trash, because I have seen people do that, we alter it in a way to bring a negative to a positive. So we change because you can't change the words, but you can change what the book looks like. So we draw in our books. So you would, give the book away or, just let it collect dust. So we're taking it and we are altering it in a positive way by adding art to it.
Very good. I remember when I was in school, we were told, do not write in your book, do not write in your book. And then you get to college and it's write in your book, write in your book, highlight your book. And then you get out of college and it's color code your highlighting for the dyslexic children and all of that. Things have definitely changed when it comes to drawing or writing in books. So how does one choose a book other than just picking a book they don't like?
So it's very simple. If you have a book lying around, so I had just purged everything because of my son coming. So, and we were in the pandemic. I did not have a book that I didn't like because I got rid of them all. And so my daughter did not appreciate the books that I bought her. So I actually used one of her books. But I highly suggest using a hardback book that has the spine that is sewn in and glued so the pages don't fall out. So that's how I chose a book. You can go to your local library or your thrift store and get a book. But usually it is actually more empowering if you choose a book that you just didn't like and you're altering it. Kind of like, you wasted my time, I'm taking my power back.
For a book with a certain texture to the paper?
Yeah, so I would choose like this one is, I like this one because it's a very, there's no grit to it. It's very flat. It handles marker really well and pen. So one that's not like, I wouldn't use very light or rice paper pages. I would use a sturdy, page. But if you don't, it's okay. Because we add pages and we glue stuff in. The whole idea is to alter it. So it could be painting, gluing, drawing, whatever you is. So you don't really have to worry about the paper as much.
In addition to a book, what other supplies do you recommend people have at
home? So it's very funny, but I say that my group goes by pirate rules. So meaning like whatever you bring, what you have, and that's okay. And if you want to add to it, that's fine as well. So if a pencil, an eraser, and a pen is great. I do have like pencils, like certain type of pencils. I just spoke last night. I'm kind of particular about my art supplies, but I've been doing it a long time. You can bring your kids' crayons, your Crayola markers, your Crayola paint, whatever you have. The whole idea is to come, get some laughs, escape from what's going on in the foreground and make this your new foreground for a couple hours.
Now, how and why did you get started with this, Audra?
It all started as a joke with a chalk drawing that I posted on Facebook. We were going a little stir crazy in the house, and I had about a bucket full of sidewalk chalk for my kids. And I said, we're going outside, and it was at 10 o'clock, so it was beautiful out, we were lucky. And mommy, draw me a fish. And okay, what color fish? Purple. And so she's coloring, and I looked up a picture on my phone and I drew a purple swordfish. You don't see that in nature.
No.
And I posted and I said, having fun with the kids outside. And the post just like blew up. It went viral. Over 200 comments on how beautiful, oh my goodness, how'd you do that and stuff. And my cousin sent me a gigantic text. You should teach something. And I'm like, oh, not a bad idea. And it came to, well, let's do an altered book. Let's Janelle, your daughter, told me about this wonderful class, and I never made it to Miami to do it. And so I asked a couple people by phone if they wanted to join. And from the phone, they invited people. And then another person's like, hey, instead of texting, can you just make a Facebook page? And so I could just go on. And from there, went to a Facebook page that I didn't want to deal with, to now over 100 people on the page from all over the country. And it's at 8:30 at night, when if you have little kids, you're done for the night, they're sleeping. Or if you're in a different part of the country, it's not too early. And we meet and we draw, and we have laughs, we talk about movies while we're drawing. So you're not alone. You're drawing, which is, a very individual act, but you're not like alone. And that's like the important part. And the one thing I love about it is when you're in a classroom, you're always looking at someone's page and they're looking at your page and you're comparing. There's no comparing because no one can see it until the end, when the big reveal is like, okay, I'm done, here's my page. So you create what you create, and it's kind of like very, it's not, you don't feel like, apprehensive.
Very good. So you actually are the founder of your group then. You did not join an existing group then.
No, I founded it, this wonderful thing called Zoom. My friend told me about it. I was using it for business, and everyone's like, how do we get together? And I was like, oh, let's just do Zoom. And I pay for it every month, and I have my own little Zoom room, and everybody comes together at 8:30. So the big joke is we start at 8:30 on Monday night. From 8:30 to 8:45, we talk and answer questions, and maybe talk about different pages if someone asks. And then at 8:45, we start the art and we start creating. And sometimes I have to do a tutorial. Like last night, I had to do a tutorial. Sometimes I don't. So people just start. And sometimes the pages are from people's suggestions.
Are there any fees involved other than what you pay to have a Zoom room?
So I pay the Zoom room fee. All I put on the little post, it's a $5 donation. So if you want to donate $5 to me, it's greatly appreciated. It pays for my Zoom, but you don't have to. It's mainly a suggestion. I'm not kicking you out. There's no nothing. You are absolutely welcome 8:30 Monday night.
Very good. I understand that your classes are also a ministry. Do you
Yes,
have a sponsor for the ministry or?
So really funny. Your wonderful daughter, Janelle, her husband is the pastor at First Presbyterian Miami. And I guess, Janelle, I'm so sorry. So Chris said, wow, that's nice. That's probably the best or something. That's the best you've ever done. And so she talked about what she does every Monday night, which is a gift that she gets to do. And I get to see her face, which is nice. And they passed it along to one of their coworkers at the church, and they reached out and asked if they could offer it to their members as a fellowship during this time where no one's meeting in person. So let's meet, in this virtual space.
Very good. Does each class revolve around a theme or teach a particular technique?
So each class, like during when we're meeting in the class, I usually ask, what would like to do? The famous one is one woman's like, I can't draw anything. She came in she started on a hard night. We painted for the first time in our book. She goes, we did this one. And she came in on this very hard page. So she's like, can we just do something easy? I don't know, like she said, a palm tree. And I go, absolutely. So we drew, I'm trying to find it, a palm tree. And I made them learn a different technique about negative space. So we absolutely all drew a palm tree. If I could find that palm tree. Here it is. So this is my palm tree. And I said, you could do whatever you want with your leaves. You have to have negative space. So you are not allowed to draw in the trunk. So I put the trunk and this. And you have to have some type of border negative space. Whatever else is fine. Those are the only directions I gave. But like I said, we go by pirate rules. So these are guidelines, not actually rules. So if you choose not to follow said guideline, it's okay. So we draw palm trees. We do a hard one. We do a palm tree. Someone asked, I don't understand all this shading. You do amazing shading. Can you teach us how you do that? So we did a technique page. We still made it fun. We still made it pretty. And we did all the different types of shading. And we wrote it hatch, cross hatch, tonal, stipple, which is pointillism, which is the bane of my existence, smudge, and then stumble, which is basically scribble. You get to scribble. Isn't that kind of cool?
Very cool, very cool. And that looks like it would be fairly easy to do. How is this particularly helpful for those in our community with memory challenges who are isolated right now?
So you get to have conversations with people all across the country. You get to draw something. And I fully believe that when you're writing something down or drawing it, it creates a memory because you're not only seeing it and drawing it and feeling it, you're writing it. So it could be kind of like a time capsule for what you guys are going through to see something like we cut in the page here. You could look back on it and there's probably not a memory, but a muscle memory because you're writing it, you're thinking it, and then again, you're seeing it. So
also helping focus and the fellowship of having a community that you can relate to because you're all doing the same thing. Very good. Would you show us your altered books and explain the techniques and everything you've done on your pages?
Absolutely. So this is my little book right here. Like I said, it's a children's book, preteen, I guess they call it. Our very, very first page, which was in March of 2020, is a word page. And so every year, I don't know if you can see it, it's probably backwards, it says intentional. Every year I pick a word to work on. So what I did was have them do a repetitive shape. And then they decide if they want to fill in the shape or fill in the background and then do their word any way, shape, or form. This was last year's, and in true fashion, because I like to repeat, this is this year's. So you could see a total difference. My net word this year is messy.
Wow. What is the technique on that one that says messy?
So basically, I told them to write a shape not in nature. So it's very morphic. Whatever you draw on the page, cut it out and trace it. So move it all around the page and trace it all over your page. And then you decide what word you are for that year. And then you could either color in the background, color in the shapes, whatever you choose fit. So this is, I did mine monochromatic plus one color, which is black and white and a color. So that was one of the techniques. The other technique, which I thought was a lot of fun, we just did, was a line drawing. So you took a shape. You were only allowed to look at the shape, put your pencil on the page, and you draw it without looking at your paper.
Oh, blind.
Yeah, line drawing. Yes, which is very hard because you want it to be perfect. We can't help ourselves. We want it to be perfect. This is to get your mind to really draw what you see. So it's just a fun one. We also did some fun things. We did a holiday one, holiday music one. Looks like an old iPod, like a blast from the past.
So did everyone draw an iPod?
And so here, greatest thing, yes, but it's pirate rules. Someone drew, I think the show record player, or she drew,
Box or something that
yeah.
would be a light
Yeah,
vibration.
so pirate rules. I give you the information, and you give, you draw it. One time I made them do, I think it's a children's story called Rainbow Fish. Someone suggested it. So we basically tiled the fish with different paper, and it's tactile, so you can feel it.
Wow.
That's cool, right? It was a lot of
Software
fun.
program. What
Yeah.
software program are you using?
So I use Zoom. This is all hand drawn. There's Janelle's rainbow fish on the bottom of the page.
Oh,
All pencil or marker or crayon,
oh,
and
okay,
sometimes they use paint.
okay. Wow.
What was that big orange dot on
They-
the opposite page on Janelle's? Was that a whoops or, oh, okay. Just,
That was
This is
You
from
know?
a previous class where we actually pasted in pages.
oh,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So we did.
So yeah, so I glued in. I did used a gesso and glued and kind of like extended the book. So
Yeah, we did like paper flowers. We cut flowers out of paper and we glued them in. My favorite one, everyone has a favorite. My absolute favorite one, still to this day, is the hand.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's my favorite one, and the idea was kind of hand of peace. I think it was at a time where we were seeing a lot of riots and people had a lot to say. And my group is very non-political. You can absolutely bring your feelings in, just put them on paper. We don't spread like toxic. We do say a lot. We have 2 rules. Number 1, you could bring whatever drink you would like. And number 2, if you don't like what was said or what was being drunk, you can, drink, you can leave.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, so, and
Wow.
it says, wild and free, rise with the tide, just breathe and calm.
Oh, that's,
so this is almost a meditation technique then for calming
Yeah.
the mind
Yeah, just
and focusing on something.
yeah, it is just that, the repetitive, one time, I believe I was going through a lot and our brains were exploding. We did a multimedia page with what's on your mind kind of
oh,
thing.
wow.
So we put all different, we took magazines and we, cut out all different things and had them exploding.
I see.
See, there's Janelle's on the bottom. So mine's a
Oh,
2-pager, but yeah.
Very cool. Very
That would be so therapeutic.
Yeah, it is, because you need to look and cut and really see what you're doing, feeling. We also do fun pages like we did. They really like pushed me to learn different things. So for Halloween, we did a fun Halloween page. And see, this scarecrow would not be there if it wasn't for someone saying, "Where's the scarecrow?" And so I had to add a scarecrow in. So they certainly do push the boundaries. So this last night, Janelle asked for, how do you create dew on an apple or an object? So I spent over an hour sifting through videos, because if I don't know it, I have to go research it. And I got to make sure I'm giving you guys as much information as possible, because it's not fair. You're coming and spending your time with me. I have to give you something. So she wanted dewdrops. They're a little hard. We need a few different tools for that. So instead we started with the fun one, which is drips. And this is what we did last night. And next week we'll do a really very technical, there's Janelle's.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool?
Rainbow
Doesn't
Yes,
that
it
come out awesome?
is.
We'll do a really fun technical one next week. And I always post information. If it's a few tools that you need, I always post on the page, this is what you should bring. But then again, it's pirate rules. So if you don't have it, bring what you have and I'll help you use what you have.
What should a beginner do? It sounds like your group has progressed quite a bit.
That is the fun part about all of this. Janelle, I'm so sorry. Janelle has grown from the time she has started to now. Her work has just blown up and beautiful, and she's drawing every day, which, you know, is absolutely amazing and so much fun to see. You come, you do the page, because we can't see you, don't compare to anyone else, because we're right there with you, and you're always going to see something beautiful when you are done, because you didn't expect you can do it. And another amazing part is you come more and more, you're gonna see growth and you're gonna see change. And the greatest part is that we all get to see it with you.
Wow.
That's the most fun for me. Like, I've seen all of the people that come grow, and they come like begrudgingly, I don't know, I'm not good at art. And then they come back and they're getting better and better. So, and because Janelle is my like biggest fan and I'm hers, we're doing a workshop in February, and it will be based around Valentine's Day. And it's a page for beginners or novice or advanced artists. It's just a fun way to express yourself and enjoy the holiday.
Wow.
Very good. So are there other altered books clubs, or is this strictly an Audra DiBello thing?
I think there's a whole bunch of altered book people out there, huge fans. Some of them do journals, some of them mainly do like multimedia. You could just Google it, altered book, and there's a artist on our page that he carves into the book and creates these amazing images. It's pretty wild. I've looked them up there, but I don't see any other like virtual book clubs being offered the way I am, but I haven't done a lot of research, so it could be out there.
That in common, we don't see other virtual Zoom classes similar to what we're doing either. So
No.
I feel for you there. Yes. One thing you had mentioned to me was this could be used as a journaling technique.
Yes. So if you, a lot of the pages at the beginning of the book, we always added a quote, like, with a new day comes new strength and new, what does it say, thoughts. So we had a lot of quotes. There's another one here. Be what you are with the first step towards becoming better than you are. So, and it's a peacock.
Beautiful.
Wow.
There's one down below. I can't read it. Janelle.
It says, I am my own muse. I am the subject I know best, the subject I want to know better. Frida Kahlo.
Yes. And then
That's lovely.
a strong woman is able to smile this morning like she wasn't crying last night. Like,
Oh, wow.
so it's a way to journal. You could draw a page and then you can put a thought or a quote. There's Janelle's 2020 page.
2020, very bad. Do not recommend. 1 star. Merry Christmas. with a mask.
Dear Christmas, please bring me a better year next year.
Please.
So there's 2 pages to the book. So you could do a page, a thought, a picture, an image, and then journal about what you wrote up here. Or we did ribbons. So we did ribbon. One woman drew a ribbon all the way down the page, and then she just wrote in the ribbon. Like, it's a chance to do both. write a picture, draw a picture, collage a picture, and then put your thoughts. Like there's Janelle's, the ribbon about the world, and then a thought on the side. You're gonna have to read it, Janelle. I can't see it.
Wow.
This is a great way to enjoy a book when you no longer enjoy reading books.
Yeah, yeah.
When we all sing one voice, the world will stop and listen. That's what
Right.
that means.
So there's a quote on the page. When you first come to the Altered Book page, you'll see a beautiful picture. You'll see a post. But if you're looking for a book, it says, this ain't your mama's book club. We draw up in our books. We don't read, we draw up in here. And so it's just a way to say, this is not your normal book club. This is an altered book club. And you will hear many references, like I've talked about, to pirate rules. Like we are so passionate about them that a wonderful friend of ours looked up pirate rules and did a podcast on what pirate rules are. So yeah.
Cool.
Big time.
Cool. How cool. Well, this has been very interesting. Thank you for joining us today, Audra, and special extra guest down here, Jeannette. This sounds like a wonderful way that all of us can kind of expand our minds and develop our creative side while we're isolated at home during the pandemic. Some of our students here have shown an uncanny ability for art, and I think this would be a great resource for their mental health.
Absolutely.
During a time when we all have challenges. We have just a minute. Can you just show us a few more pages, and then we'll turn over to Michael to start our exercise class.
So this was, someone asked for a turtle. So I always have to take it and flip it a little bit. And I said, okay, draw your turtle, but use the shell to draw something that you're thinking about that day. So, and like, see,
wow.
Janelle did colors. See, I give the theme, they just talk. One person's like, I don't know how to draw eyes. Can we show me how to draw eyes? So I demonstrated eyes on pieces of paper, and I just glued in all the different eye images and ways of doing them on the page. You know, sometimes they're pretty and sometimes they're, you know, this one here, everyone's like, can we cut into our books? So you can't really see it, but there you go. Like we cut into them. There's a little flap here and it's super bright. And I said, I'm not big with color, but they pushed me to, you know, draw color. And one night was like, can we just do a jack-o'-lantern? And we had a whole month of Halloween. So there's my little smiley pumpkin. So anything that you want to see, we asked, we did, it was the vote. So we were like, rock the vote. So we did a very, what style was it? Oh, Americana. So people wanted to dive into different types of styles. So we used Americana, which is a very flat, muted kind of colors. And there's Janelle's down below.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they take it, and I'm amazed. Like we have a woman that loves to multimedia, and she just takes it and shows us different techniques that she's doing. So we might actually do a class in March, like a workshop on, I think it's gel printing or something.
Interesting. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Audra, for joining us today. I know you need to go after your son, and it is